Cash is very distracting. I'm gonna have to use this real quick. Cash, you wanna come over here? Hi, I'm GAge, and today we are gonna be talking about focus by wire. It's how most of Sony, I believe all of Sony native E-mount lenses focus, and why I hate it. That being said, I've already made this video. I was gonna publish it about a month and a half ago maybe. I wasn't happy with the quality, so I'll go ahead and post the intro that I always do for the beginning of these. I'll post it at the end of this just because I don't want that video to go to waste. First of all, right off the bat, I switched from Canon to Sony. There are lots of things I miss about Canon. The focus in video is super, super reliable and it wasn't jumpy. Sony's is a little bit jumpy. Do you wanna go play? So Sony's focusing is a little bit jumpy at times. Sometimes it works just the way you want it to. I definitely recommend setting your camera to slow. I mean, obviously if you're shooting sports and you're shooting photos, you want that fast speed. You want it to lock on and shoot immediately. But for video, you want more of that natural feel, the natural breathing with the lens and everything, whatever. Cashaboo. That being said, let's jump right into it, focus by wire. First of all, I'm gonna talk about what focus by wire isn't, and that's pretty much every other lens in the world. You see, as I focus, it actually moves mechanics inside the lens. This one wouldn't actually breathe even if it did, but this ring right here, the focus ring, does not move anything. All it's doing is registering data and sending it to the camera and telling it to focus by how much it thinks you wanted it to focus by. This lens, on the other hand, the 20mm f2.8, I believe, is amazing. The focus ring on it, the focus by wire, is actually really, really quick, really responsive, and it tends to behave how you think it would. I actually bought and sold within a week the 18-105 specifically because I could not manual focus with it at all. It was horrible. No, Cash, you don't get that lens, sorry. It was decent at focusing automatically, but decent isn't good enough to rely on. The focal range on it was awesome, but the image quality was normal. It wasn't amazing. So I returned that lens and I went ahead and picked up this lens. It's the Sigma 30mm 1.4 contemporary lens, and it's awesome so far. Like I said, the focus by wire isn't amazing. It's not as good as the Sony 20mm, but it's better than the 18-105. I'm kind of putting it through its paces right now with this video. I haven't actually shot video with it yet, so this will be the first thing that I've ever shot with this besides some pictures of Cash. Other than that, I really love Sony. So that's my biggest issue with Sony. Out of everything else, I mean, I don't care about the battery life. I can bring 5 batteries with me somewhere. It's not a big deal. I have been manual focusing. I felt like uppity about it when I was younger. I was like, no, autofocus is for dweebs who can't focus themselves. So I always bought manual focus lenses and I kept them in manual focus. I did all of my shots by manual focus because I believed that I could do a better job of what I wanted, and I know that that's not completely true now. But sometimes you do need the manual focus. If you're shooting a landscape, you want to get the right focus for sure. You don't want to just rely on your lens. Have I been in focus? Will you tell me? So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into other things that I love about Sony. Real-time view of what your picture is going to look like is awesome. Because everything in the camera is electronic, you're actually seeing the exposure that you're going to get in your final product when you press that shutter button. You literally see exactly what you're getting, field or depth of field and all. It's awesome. Another thing is you get 4K for pretty cheap. I spent $1,500 on the A6500 when it came out, and it's awesome. I never shot 4K before, and I've been liking it a whole lot. I mean, this is just mirrorless cameras in general, but they're lightweight. Mirrorless cameras are extremely lightweight, and one of the reasons is because of that battery. They brought it down. I mean, obviously, you get like 400 actuations through a battery, and that's not that much, I understand, but seriously, they're not the most expensive batteries either. It's not bad. It's not bad. Also, if you're going to be manual focusing a lot and you have a lot of lenses and you're switching over from another brand, I still have a couple of my Canon lenses, and the autofocus for pictures is awesome. For video, it is absolute shit. I would not trust it for anything in video. For pictures, it's actually really trustworthy. It's really nice. You don't get the eye autofocus, which isn't the biggest deal. Move this out of the shot. What was I gonna say? Dynamic range. Okay, so another big pro about this is you get a pretty wide dynamic range for smaller amounts of money, and this, I'm pretty sure the A6500 is still the leader in dynamic range and the amount of dynamic range you can get with an APS-C camera. Moving into the cons that I have with the Sony mirrorless line. Focus by wire, obviously, already went through that. It's my #1 negative mark on Sony's mirrorless lens or cameras. I hate it. I really wish every lens had a really good manual focus ring that wasn't focused by wire. That's personal. Some people don't mind it, but whatever. Flip screen. I'll go ahead and pull out my my girlfriend's A6000. People have said that they really like this, and I do like being able to tilt it up, but it's not a full range. I don't get to flip it out and turn it towards me. I have to use my phone to be able to watch what I'm doing when I'm doing this stuff. Fully up, and then only a little bit down. So even if I'm shooting really far up, I still have to kind of angle it. And using that as a segue, when you're in the sun, it has such a massive glare problem. You cannot see what's on the screen in direct sunlight. It's impossible. You have to use the viewfinder sometimes. You can work around it. There goes the bongo. You can play with it, Cash, it's okay. Not a deal breaker, but it's still just annoying. Lens choice, and then I already mentioned another con, the battery life. Cool, I'm done. That was awesome. Is my lighting good? I didn't even check my lighting. Man, that's some sexy ass lighting. Okay, have a good day. Go shoot, keep shooting. Shoot more when you think you're done shooting, because there's never enough shooting to be had. I'm done.